Good evening, everybody. Here we are for another week of UFC. I've gone back and forth on this card. I'm not feeling the greatest about it. So, man, my camera's not. Something's wrong with it. I don't like it. Um, yeah, something's crazy. Something's going on with it, but whatever. Um, Gosh darn it. Sorry about that. There, now I fixed it. Sorry about that. Um, it's not the greatest card. I really struggled to find stuff that I really felt confident in, things that I really wanted to endorse and give out. So I don't have a lot of plays this week, to be honest. And a lot of them are kind of going back to some of the same things. So, um, if you play my parlay, I probably wouldn't play one of my singles and so on. And we'll get into that towards the end. But the first fight of the night is Sariach versus Giannis. This is striker versus grappler. It's Sariach is making his debut, I believe. Giannis is a striker. Sariach is the grappler, and I think he's going to have his way. I think he's going to be able to get takedowns and either get a submission or a dominant decision win. My only issue is I'm not a big fan of taking somebody in their debut. He seems like a great parlay piece at a minus 265. Maybe I'll get around to playing something with him, but I just have a tendency to try and have them show me before I actually use them, type of thing. On to the second fight. It's same thing here. Vlogden, I believe it's his debut. Yeah, it is. And Castaneda is just a seasoned veteran, and I think Castaneda is going to be just a little bit better everywhere. Um, I think I think even he could even get a couple takedowns in this fight. I think on the feet it's going to be fairly even, and then I think the advantage is going to be Castaneda with a takedown or two. You could see a very close back and forth round, and then he could seal it with a takedown. So I like Castaneda to get the win here. Um, I think his price is fairly good. It's minus 125. It did open at plus money though. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna lean real hard with Castaneda. I probably won't pull the trigger on it, but I do like him to get the win. And then this fight, JJ Aldrich versus Lynn Horth. I think this is a little bit more of an even fight than what the odds are saying. I mean, the odds aren't that wide, but um, I think the only difference here is Horth is stronger. I think everywhere else it's pretty even. Um, so saying that, I would lean the dog money on Aldrich, but this is a gross fight. It's minus 500 over 2.5 rounds. They're expecting it to go all 3 rounds. Our all luck, it won't though. Like last week. But I do. I'm just gonna take the dog money with Aldrich, but I would not be surprised at all if Horth gets the victory. And then we got another female fight that I don't have a lot of interest in either. And that's Croden and Zelzin Zelznikova, I believe it is. You know, on the feet, I think this is a pretty even fight. I mean, I think Croden might have a little more finishing ability, a little more pop in her shots. And Croden does have the ability to wrestle too, but I'm gonna lean Croden, but I would not be surprised if Zelzin and Kova ends up getting the upset victory here. But I'm gonna lean Croden to mix in a little grappling and get it done. Um, the over 2.5 is not bad, but I do have a little concern that if Croden is dominating, that she could end up getting a finish in this fight. I don't expect it, but that's the one thing that's kind of keeping me off the over on this fight is that aspect right there. And then our next fight is Tanner Boser versus Sarakam. Boser, they're bringing him back, and I think they brought him 100% back because he's Canadian and this card is in Canada. So just because of that narrative, I'm not going to be on Boser. I can't be. This fight should stay standing. Sarakam's making his debut. I mean, there could be a knockout, or it could end up going all 3 rounds. It'd be a boring fight. I'm gonna say Sarakam gets it done, but I don't want anything to do with this fight at all. And then next we got LeBlanc versus Valentine. Or you might find this on your sport book as Valentine Frey or Fry, ever how you want to say it. I believe DraftKings has it Valentine Frey or Fry. I like Valentine here. I think he gets it done. I think he works in his grappling. I think he's live for a submission here. And what I'm going to end up playing is this. I know it's a little risky adding this onto it, but on DraftKings, you can build your own same game parlay, and you can do Valentine money line, fight over a half a round, -110. That really brings the juice down. Or the other thing that you could look at would be a double method, like submission slash decision prop for him. That I don't mind either. But I like those. I do like Valentine as a single. Or if you at a -150, if you want to use him as a parlay piece, you could parlay him with maybe JJ or something like that. And then this fight here, Bazookaja or whatever his name is versus Barboza. If Barboza was not making his debut, I'd be all over him. I really like him to get the win here. I like him to get a knockout, probably a first round knockout. One thing that I am going to use in this fight is fight to end by KO -260. I think that's a fairly good parlay piece. I mean, this fight's like a plus 400 to go the distance or something like that. So I think -260 on a knockout prop on either side is good value. So I like Barboza to get the win, and I do like him to get the win early. I'm leaning towards first round, which a first round KO is +130. I wouldn't mind if you put a sprinkle on that, a little bit on that. Our next fight is Moises versus Young. This is striker versus grappler. Moises is a good grappler, but not the greatest wrestler, if that makes sense at all. I don't have confidence in Moises even attempting to grapple. And I think Young's able to keep this on the feet, and on the feet, he's going to be the way better striker, the higher pace striker. I like Young to get the win here. I like him quite a bit, actually. So, and then our next fight is JJ. Like, if I say JJ, this is who I'm talking about. Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Karina Silva. So I think this is a good bounce back spot for JJ. I think she's going to dominate this fight. I do like it to go long, though. I know some people might lean her to get a sub, but I'm playing this. And here's why I'm playing it this way. For some reason, if you do a same game parlay on DraftKings and do JJ money line / decision, it's a -130, but yet her regular decision prop is like a minus 140 to minus 150. So I'm going to play it this way. I mean, if you got a player under the normal lines, under decision, I don't mind that either. Or even unanimous decision, I think is closer to even money. I like that also. I like her to get her takedowns and dominate on the mat and get the decision victory here. Then we got Mallot versus Herbert or Herbert, whatever. I like Mallot here. I think he's going to get a knockout, actually. He's going to be the way better striker, the higher pace striker. I expect this fight to stay on the feet, and I like him by KO in this. I will be using him on most significant strike parlay that I'll pull up at the end also. And then we got Phillips versus Jourdain. This is a tough one because if Phillips fixes his cardio issues, he's alive to win this. I think he's going to come out really strong in the first round. I think he's going to come out fast. My only concern is him fading. So because of that, I'm going to lean towards Jourdain. But if he doesn't fade, he's live to win this. He's probably going to mix in a couple takedowns. Jourdain be a little bit better on the feet, though, and he'll have the cardio advantage and should be able to take over the deeper the fight gets. So I'm going to lean Jourdain, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if Phillips ends up getting the victory. And then I kind of see the same thing here. Burns versus Mallot. Burns is like almost 40 years old now. I think he's going to look fairly strong in the first two rounds. And then I think we're going to see Mallot take over and more than likely find the kill shot on a knockout. I don't feel confident enough to play him, though. So I'm going to stay away from this fight. This is another one where he's basically in the main event because of him being Canadian, and they're trying to put as many Canadians on this card as possible. So I do lean Mallot, but I would not be surprised at all if Burns ends up getting the nod. So then I've got this parlay here. I've got Castaneda and Volognin over 1.5 rounds. Aldrich versus Horthfight to go the distance. And then JJ versus Silva over 1.5 rounds. This was a minus 119. That's probably my favorite alternate round prop parlay. I'm playing that. Then here, I'll leave that up for a second. I got to put this one up, though. And then I'm going to play this. These are all on FanDuel under most significant strikes. I got Young, JJ, and Mallot. All to have the most significant strikes in their fight. Plus 189, boosted to a plus 189, or boosted to a plus 245. This is pretty solid. If it comes down to the last leg, I'll probably hedge a little bit. This is the way I am. I know it's not for everybody, but it's what I do. So I'm playing this. But it was a 30% boost, and they're starting to limit me big time on FanDuel. Like my max on that was like a lousy $10. So it's not even, I don't even have that much on it. So those are my only plays. I don't have a lot. There wasn't a lot that really reached out and said, Glenn, you got to play this. So I've been focusing a little bit more on the United Football League. If you haven't watched that video, please check it out. I am on Dallas tonight. I'm on a Dallas DC parlay, and I like the Dallas over tonight. So check out my other video. Give me a like on your way in or out on this, please. If there's any fights you have a question on, or any plays that you're making, please comment and let me know what they are. I'd love to hear it. And I hope everybody can cash some tickets with me this weekend. Thank you, and everyone have a great weekend.